Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So before we get started, make sure to hit that like button, also subscribe to my channel. In this video, we will talk about how can I motivate myself every day? 1. Just get started and let the motivation catch up with you. You don't have to wait for motivation to get started. If you want to work in a consistent way every day, then sometimes you just have to get going anyway. And the funny thing is that after I have worked for a while, things feel easier and more fun, and the motivation catches up with me. 2. Start small if big leads you to procrastinating. If a project or task feels too big and daunting, don't let that lead you into procrastination. Instead, break it down into small steps, like just setting up your blog or cleaning for 5 minutes, and then take just one of them to start moving forward. 3. Start tiny if a small step still leads you to procrastination. If breaking it down and taking the small step still leads you to procrastinating, then go even smaller. Take just a tiny 1-2 minute step forward. That's it. Because the most important thing is to just get going and to build momentum forward. 4. Reduce the daily distractions. When you have easily accessible distractions all around you, then it becomes hard to focus. So shut the door to your office. Put your smartphone in silent mode at the other end of your workspace or home, and use an extension for your browser like Stay Focused to keep yourself on track. 5. Get accountability from the people in your life. Tell your friends what you will do on social media, via phone, or in real life. Ask one or more of them to regularly check up on you and your progress. By doing this, you'll be a lot less likely to try to weasel out of things or give up at the first obstacle. 6. Get motivation from the people in your life. Spend less time with negative people who always look at the dark or apathetic side of things, and spend more of the time you have now freed up with enthusiastic or motivated people and let their energy flow over to you. 7. Get the motivation from people you don't know. Don't limit yourself to just the motivation you can get from the people closest to you. There is a ton of motivating quotes, books, podcasts, blogs, and success stories out there that you can tap into to up or renew your motivation. 8. Play music that gives you energy. One of the simplest things I do when I feel low in energy or motivation is to play music that is upbeat and or inspires me in some way. A break with a few songs or working while listening to them for a while usually works well. 9. Find the optimism. Pessimism can drain both your motivation and energy. But the positive and constructive way of looking at things can, on the other hand, energize and recharge your motivation. So when you're in what looks like a negative situation, ask yourself questions like, what's one thing that's good about this? And what's one hidden opportunity here? 10. Be kind to yourself when you stumble. It's so easy to fall into the trap of beating yourself when you stumble or fail. But that don't work that well in my experience. You just feel worse and less motivated. So try this the next time. Be kind to yourself, nudge yourself back on the path you were on, and take one small step forward. 11. Be constructive about the failures. To make your setbacks more valuable and less hurtful, be constructive about them. When you stumble, ask yourself, what is one thing I can learn from this setback? Then keep that lesson in mind and take action on it to improve what you do. 12. Compare yourself to yourself and see how far you have come. Instead of deflating yourself and your motivation by comparing yourself to others who are so far ahead of you. 13. Compete in a friendly way. When you're in school or at work, make it a friendly competition with a friend to, for example, finish a boring or routine task first. Just that element of competition tends to liven things up. And if you want to, you can also add a small prize for extra motivation, like the winner getting a free ice cream or a beer from the other person. 14. Remind yourself of why you are working toward this. When you're feeling unmotivated and low in energy, it's easy to lose sight of why you're doing something. So take 2 minutes and write down your top 3 reasons for doing this work: getting an education, working out, saving that extra money, or something else. Put that note where you can see it every day, or keep it in your smartphone for easy access when you need a motivational boost. 15. Remind yourself of what you're moving away from. You can also motivate yourself to get going again by looking at the negative impact of staying on your current path. Ask yourself, What will the consequences be if I continue on this path for 1 more year? And if I do it for 5 more years? I have found that this exercise has given me the kickstart I needed many times in the past years. What is motivation? Really? You likely know of people who have been doing the same thing for years and seem to not have any problem staying stagnant. Whether it be in their marriage, job, or personal endeavors, they seem to be getting along just fine without progressing towards anything better. On the other hand, I'm sure you also know of individuals who focus on the positive, goal setting, and are constantly pushing themselves to greater heights. Be it promotions at work, building a family, celebrating marriage milestones, traveling more, or going to school again. These individuals seem to constantly progress towards something that improves or enhances their life. So what's the difference between these two types of individuals? What you feel capable of doing comes down to one thing: motivation. It's the force, or lack of, that keeps driving you forward to overcome challenges and obstacles to achieve your goals. Without motivation, you'll give up after a few failed attempts, or even on the first tough challenge that comes your way. Or you'll just remain where you are, unhappy yet not doing anything to progress ahead. Whether you realize it or not, motivation is a huge force in your life, and it needs to be harnessed in order to excel and actually enjoy whatever it is that you're doing on a daily basis. The motivation flow. To feel motivated, you need to dive beyond the surface. Just reading a motivational quote, being encouraged by your friends or mentor, or writing out a short to-do list won't help you build sustainable motivation in the long run. You can think of the motivation that we want to achieve like the sun, self-sustaining and long-lasting, which supplies a constant influx of energy to all life on Earth. Just like the sun, your motivation engine has different layers, starting from the core and spreading out to the surface. The surface is what you see, but the real process is driven from the core, your internal motivation, and that's the most important part. If you can create a self-sustaining motivation engine, you'll be able to find more meaning in your life and enjoy every minute of what you're doing, which will make your roles and responsibilities less of a chore. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Also subscribe to our channel before you go.